Da 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 da. Who is Stevie Wonder? I just called to say I thank you. Alright, so let's just get started. Now, all I know is that this Who is Stevie Wonder is a bit of challenge, I have to say, because all the research I've done on him, this is a mega star. We're going to talk about a mega star again. And we've already talked about a lot of mega stars in the past, like Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, and even mega star groups like the Beatles. And actually, that's the only time I've ever talked about a megastar group. I'll probably be doing one on the BTS eventually, but still right now, we'll be doing Stevie Wonder. With all of his hits, like Happy Birthday, not the one like you sing on birthday, like Happy Birthday to you, not that one. And I Just Called to Say I Love You. And Superstition. Also, Fingertips Part 2. And how did this all start? Well, let's go back to the beginning. So all this happened when Stevie was born as Steveland Hardaway Jenkins on May 13th of 1950 in Sunnyvale, Michigan. He was actually born 6 weeks earlier than expected, so he had to be in the incubator for over a month. My guess for as long as those 6 weeks. I'm not sure about all that science stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be for those 6 weeks. But then, when the nurses tried to make him look at them, he didn't respond. He didn't respond to movement or light. So, they realized that his eyes haven't developed properly and told the news to Stevie's parents. Well, obviously, Stevie's mother and father were all irritated and a bit sad. And when they finally got him, they checked it. Okay, maybe not checked it, but they saw it. And was very, 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 very sad. As much as all of this has been a bit of an effect for Stevie, it was a big tragedy for his parents. They even tried even religious ceremonies, even though they weren't in a religious world anymore. None of those worked. Even miracles could work. Today we probably have eye surgery that could have fixed his eyes. But he's not living. He couldn't live today. He's not dead, I guess. But back then he couldn't have done it. Also, I'm pretty sure he's too old to be operated on by now. Yeah. It's okay. At 11 years old in 1961, he auditioned for the Motown recording studio, and he was signed to a contract by the Motown founder, Berry Gordy. Hey, that rhymes. Berry, Gordy, that rhymes. And then a year later, in 1962, he released his first single hit. I call it Pretty Music. It was a failure. Bam, 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 bam. Wing, 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 wing. More like it. And all those things that he's done on it, well, they weren't a big hit like they expected him to be. And then I realized that his voice sounded way better in front of an audience than in front of a recording studio. So they decided that he needed to tour first at 12 years old, and they sent him on a tour. It was his first tour, so he was a bit annoyed, and he was a bit tired when he came back from it. And and the whole group was actually happy to be in New York, because that was more tolerable places for colored men and women. They were so glad there because Motown was mainly for R&B and also for black musicians. And that's actually and Motown was actually the inspiration for a lot of black musicians. Not much for whites, even though they did have a few whites in the company. And nowadays, I'm pretty sure Motown is almost forgotten. And I guess these videos about Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder talk about Motown. And as everybody starts remembering what Motown is, everybody will probably try to make a Motown episode. At least from every channel, I guess. But all this has made me wonder, why was Motown even created? Well, luckily, if Motown was never created, we wouldn't have ever had Michael Jackson or Stevie Wonder. Maybe Michael Jackson, but definitely not Stevie Wonder. And right now, as I'm creating this, everybody might listen to a Stevie Wonder episode or music video, and they'll probably be amazed by it. And they will be amazed because of his literal songs. I mean, eventually he does get his high school diploma while he was a professional musician, since he was in elementary school. And in 1971, when he turned to 21, his contract with Motown expired. But then he decided to just renew it, even though he was on his own for a while. In 1972, he toured with the Rolling Stones. Well, he wasn't involved in their drinking and drugging parties. Lucky. And in 1974, he won the first of his 25 career Grammy Awards. First 4 of his 25 Grammy Awards, with Innervision's awarded Album of the Year. That's a high honor for a man, even. That's so high. A year later, his daughter Aisha, which was the inspiration for Isn't She Lovely, was born. And 10 years later, his Academy Award for the Best Original Song, I Just Called to Say I Love You, from the Women in Red, won the Academy Award. In 1989, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2004, he received the Century Achievement Award, the highest honor for creative achievement from Billboard magazine. And 10 years later, he was presented with the Presidential Medal of Freedom in a ceremony at the White House by Barack Obama, giving him that. That's a pretty high honor, even for me. That's a high honor, even though I'm still a kid. I knew a lot of history here. All of this has led me to wonder if there is anything related with any of this. And I'm going to say that maybe this is one of these best episodes that I've ever done. But these are also the worst episodes. Okay, that doesn't really make sense, but I'll explain in a minute. What Stevie Wonder is, to me, is all of his things that could have done. His music, his songs, his mind, and actually he said this to his mother once. Maybe God didn't let me to see, but maybe he wanted me to do something else, which included music. And now back to the best and worst part of these videos. And this part, in this hand, there's the best part, and this part is the worst part. Let's explore the best part first. In the best part, there's something good about it. For that, is that we just talked about the timeline and how much we've loved it. How much expressed how much I loved it. His songs and stuff. But the worst part is just saying all these stuff and with the word stuff in it. And that's the worst part of this video. So, as much as he has tried to do anything, there's so much he could do for all of this. And I'm proud that we have all of this in our hands. And let's move up into our world. No, not literally. So, I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Night out. Peace.